Yeah, man, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I ain't got bored with politics, so I'm gonna take y'all down a rabbit hole with me. Now, this video is long. This video is real long. I'm gonna need you to hit the like button. And this one you may not be able to watch the whole thing, but hit the like button. I promise you, if you listen, it might be just be profitable to you. That's the problem I have, man, with a lot of the news that's being covered. Yeah, you learn something, but ain't no profit in it, really. Ain't really it's not profitable. Yeah. Man, you ain't getting nothing out of it. You feel like, yeah, I know about what's going on, but what can I do about what's going on? Yeah. What can I do? How can I benefit? Is there a benefit to me at all? Hold on one second. We about to get to the bottom of this, ladies and gentlemen. This don't make no sense whatsoever. Welcome to the Dark Waters channel, where we explore mysteries, figure out the truth, dive into politics, and anything else you want to know about. That's what we doing over here, baby. Let's go. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and one and only James Williams Dark Waters. I'm about to do something that I don't normally do. I spend a significant amount of time going through the news and kind of seeing what the future holds. You see that I've done it with the chart where I've shown you all the graphics of what's laid out, but I never really break down exactly why I do this. It looks schizophrenic, right, when you see it. And someone will say, well, you too deep into this because, you're doing stuff and you're mapping stuff out. Well, the reason why you map it out is because it tells a story. It not only tells a political story, but it tells a financial story. So, for example, when we went into water rights and we went with the Economic Forum, World Economic Forum, talking about water rights, the water war between China and India, and then Prophet Hubert Angel talking about there will be a coming global water war, it was a very significant thing. And so what I look for is correlations between what are existing globalist trends, meaning things they're trying to accomplish, the pushback against what they're trying to accomplish, and then those who are ahead of the game and they're profiting from it. So, for example, this tells me that there are companies right now that are purely focused on water, right? And then the next thing is, if there are companies focused on water, and then there's government contracts that pertain to water, right? This lets me know the direction that DARPA is going. So then what we do is come to DARPA's website and we go to research R&D opportunities, and then we start looking. And disruption engineering program announcements, TTO soliciting innovative executive summaries and proposals that enhance the nation's ability to rapidly build and adapt to sustainable force structures. Wow. Announcements to seek revolutionary research ideas for topics not being addressed by ongoing MTO programs. And so essentially you go and see the direction that technology is heading. And you can find early stage companies that are kind of risky, but I mean, in my case, if I invest cigar money in them, then I'll be fine, right? So let me go back. I want to see what they're actually highlighting. Programs. For example, anticipatory and adaptive anti-money laundering, anesthetics for battlefield care, air combat revolution, looking for anything to do with water, AI cyber challenge, automatic implementation of secure silicone, show more. Adaptive manufacturing of microsystems with a capital E. I don't know what that means. Atomic magnetometer for biological imaging in Earth's native terrain. Each and every one of these things they show you is a field of the future. Now, here's the thing about AI. The artificial intelligence, which I'm telling you, they're going to cut off the average person from artificial intelligence soon. They have no choice, because if you have any sense beyond using it to write a damn email or correct your spelling, you can ascend to some of the highest heights of power by using that intelligence to scan, read, and interpret things and put it in a language that you can understand. So the highest concepts in the world now can be made to be something that you can understand and digest if you use AI to teach you about it, right? So there's no such thing as someone being like dumb anymore. Like the only way you will be dumb is if you just decide you're gonna be a dumbass. I'm sorry. Here we go. So, for example, in the news, May 20th, Michael Winchell appointed as DARPA director, right? So, if I wanted to trace and run down the rabbit hole, is that showing on the screen? Yeah, you should be able to see all that on the screen, right? Physicist, AI, and autonomy expert, and U.S. Reserve officer will serve as agency's 25th director. So this is the new director of DARPA, right? Make sure that's what yeah. So the issue that I have is what was this guy doing before he was the director of DARPA? Because he's going to have connections to various different people, various different organizations. Those organizations are going to be in line to work with DARPA. So if you're trying to figure out what's going on and what he's done, then you really need to do some research on him. Now, there's a danger in it, but and the danger is, let's use Claude, because Claude is the one that Claude be tripping. The Chat GTP be tripping. Claude is a little bit more. I mean, it's manipulative, but it's nowhere near as manipulative as Chat GTP. So I come over to Claude and I say, listen, I'm looking for investment opportunities tied to the change in leadership at DARPA. Specifically, I'm not a good speller, guys. I'm more better at math, but look, that's nowhere near how you spell opportunities. But whatever, they don't know what I'm talking about. Specifically, the new director's previous jobs that he's held and board of directors positions that may give insight to companies that possibly will get or renew DARPA contracts. Here is his information. We are only searching public records, public news info about him, seeking explicit goal investment opportunities. And we'll let it do its research. While it's doing its research, we'll come back over. And so from a research perspective standpoint, what we're now doing, and I haven't went over this, but I'll show you one or two that I found. Let me go paste. Can I paste that link there? Is it going to act right? There he is. Good deal. And the concept behind what we're doing is, we know there are people who create the future. Future is created. It's not like it just happens, right? And we know we had this section on future investments. For example, with the last run I did a run where I was looking for stocks that were under $5 a share that were associated with DARPA. I'm gonna show you one if It's not on this one. But if we were to just check and see where things are that they found, right? And this is for you to do on your own. I mean, I'm teaching you how to do this. I'm not telling you follow what I do. So, for example, this one, edit. This is CRISPR-based technology in their CRISPR gene editing company. Let's see where edit is. At the time of me finding edit, come on, baby, move over. So, for example, at the time of me finding edit, it was $1.50 a share. Edit is now $1.92 a share, so it'd have been in this range. And edit, based upon ICT trading strategies, with a strong high here, a weak low here, above the moving average. It just serviced this fair value gap. It has this fair value gap to go in, well, actually served that fair value gap already. What's next? This one been hit? This one been hit? Over time, edit will go and fill each and every one of these fair value gaps that is not filled. So over time, edit will end up and the time period is irrelevant to me because of the fact that we know this is future tech. So this $1.82 stock will eventually fill each and every one of these red areas, which are fair value gaps, and get to $10. And so for me, and if you understand trading, these fair value gaps are gaps that are created by selling pressure, where market makers made that selling pressure selling down, and they have to balance their books. Anybody who understands this knows that those prices have to be hit. They cannot be left alone. It may not be this year, may not be next year, but those prices have to be hit. It's no different than when in the Forex trading market, when they have a fair value gap, or when they have a gap in trading where it gaps up or gaps down, that gap gets filled eventually. And so you see these various different stocks. I was looking for some that were extremely low. Let's look at SGMO at 47 cents a share. Let's see if I had just moved on all of this, which I haven't, because I've been working on this concept in theory that you'll have an opportunity in the future based upon all the stuff that they're doing. Yeah, this is not something I will buy. Not right now. Not at all. Well, actually, did it fill this gap? It has. That gap has been mitigated. Is there another gap? Let's look at it from a high standpoint. And again, I ain't telling you to buy a damn thing. I'm just showing you how you can research this for yourself. It's a gangster head and shoulders. What happened back over here? Everything has been mitigated. And so its range is, this is ranging. It broke out of the range. Yeah, that was ranging big time. Wow, that was ranging super big. It took damn near 629 days to move through that range, which is ridiculous. Stand at 2 years to work itself through its range. And that took 459 days to work through its range the last time. And so you're talking about a significant amount of time for this to range back up. I mean, you're talking about, that's 2 years before it actually moved within its range, and then it broke its range. Let's see if this is broke below its range. Let's go back. I want to see this. There's nothing there. No. And it still never serviced these higher gaps, I don't think. No. Yeah, that's headed in the wrong direction. But the point I'm making is, if you actually do the research, you can find substantially, great opportunities. Now, Market Screener says that this has an 80% upside, and they're expecting to go to $4.20. And so the AI is a powerful tool for you to use. And this can be done with anything. You don't have to use like DARPA technology. This is one I've been watching, CRBU, for a while. Come on, thing, move over. But I haven't seen what I need to see for it to make sense for me to get involved in that in any way, shape, or form. But I mean, down to $1, or it's actually down to 99 cents. Probably from a high of only the Lord knows how high this was when they did the IPO offering. But yeah, $32. But all these companies currently have contracts with DARPA. They ain't going nowhere unless they lose their contract. Every last one of them currently have contracts with DARPA. And that's the beauty of it. Let's see if it's giving us our report. Time horizon. Are you interested in both public? It asked me some questions. Are you in what time horizon are you for these investments? Are you opportunity immediate, short-term play, long-term play? Long-term play. Are you interested in both public and, I'm going to say both. No, public. Should I prioritize company direct ties to previous roles? No, directly tied. And see, it already identified some of his roles. AI autonomy, Project Maven. And so what it's going to do is it's going to pull this research report for me. I'll be able to understand two things: why he was chosen and what his full background is. Because they're going to give you a little bit about him. John Hopkins University, Masters of Business Administration from University of Virginia. He is a rescue scuba diver, a skydiver, and an avid student of military history. But I want to know more. You see, it's one thing to read the news and see what's going on in the news. And I've been proven to be 100% accurate about what I've said. I mean, we see the battle with Russia. We saw Russia bomb them. 400 drone strikes and 20 missile strikes, which we said it was going to be massive. We see the beef with Elon and Donald dying off, specifically with Donald ignoring Elon and Elon going under the Donald Trump curse, which I knew that would happen. I don't know. Yeah, I knew it would happen. I hope Elon doesn't get hit too bad with it, but the fact of the matter is Elon was going to lose that exchange. I don't like the separation that was there because in my mind, liberals feel like they won. We saw where there was a diversion on the half of the Trump administration from that beef with them when they came out and announced Kilmer Abrega Garcia was now being flown back into the United States of America. And then we saw the reaction of the Democratic Party based upon what was going on with Kilmer Abrega Garcia. Matter of fact, let's see a little bit more of their reaction while this thing does its research. It's still researching because they didn't expect. I don't think they expected him to bring this guy back. I really don't think they expected Donald Trump to bring this guy back. Let me touch on this. This concept and idea of Elon Musk this is a threat from Elon Musk to try and divide the Republican base by launching a new party. This threat right here, you can say what you want to say about Donald Trump, right? I mean, he's really good at ignoring what the hell. I wish I had his ability to just ignore the foolishness that people say. But this is a threat. When Musk says he teases the launch of a new political party, what he's saying is, I'm going to divide the vote and take down the MAGA movement. I'll say this, that would be Elon's greatest mistake. I mean, this will be his greatest mistake. Elon does not have, like, for example, Elon had leftists on his side. They turned on him. Leftists are vicious. They are not going to forgive Elon. Elon does not have the right on his side. Now, did he help win the election? Hell, yeah. I mean, just him fighting for free speech has been a great thing. But Elon needs to just chill for right now. And he needs to go ahead and he needs to finish building rockets and doing what he needs to do. And just be one of the billionaire globalists that's like anti-New World Order. And he can sustain himself in that role, and he'll have all the support he needs in that role. Elon is getting to a very dangerous point. You got one group of people burning Teslas, and then you have the opposition that you're making opposition, who's in control of all the EV mandates and can do everything to hurt and harm your corporation, plus all the people who are America first, who haven't really turned on him. They want him to get it together and relax his nerves, right? But when that audience turns on you, which it hasn't, despite everything that everybody says, when that audience turns on him, man, he's going to have a problem. Because now you're caught in the middle. And the leftists are crazy and all the rest of that. But the leftists don't really, we're going to boycott. They don't really boycott. And their boycotts are not effective. Let the right say, okay, screw Elon. He's done. When I say he's done, he's done. So Elon needs to chill. This is one of those times where you fade to the background and you just go on about your business. You know what I'm saying? So you had 5 million people vote, and you're saying, okay, I'm gonna get 5 million people to join me out of 300 and something million. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Does he have the money to cause a problem? Yes, but he does not want the smoke that would come with that. I can tell you right now, Elon, you don't want that smoke. You need to chill. The whole purpose of me going into this, because I was looking for Jamie Raskin. I was looking for anybody else that was commenting on this. And it doesn't look like it. The Kilmer Abrega Garcia. We'll go to Breitbart and see. And as you can see, the headlines they're just bashing him. I mean, and I don't think there's going to be, there were already a lot of people inside the Republican Party that didn't like him, but they couldn't be vocal against him because he was close to Donald Trump. So now the Republican conservative media pundits who don't like him are now just, boom, they're slamming him. And it's one of those things to where the pundits really should be careful about what they say, but it's a hot topic. They're going to contribute to the topic. They're going to monetize the topic. I personally feel like they should not. This is one we should leave alone. We should let it die, but they won't let it die out. You know what I'm saying? Martell must promote the destruction of the traditional family. And the reason why he went against the globalists is because he didn't like what was done to his son. He has his son on who's transitioned dancing all over the place like a clown. So what we're getting ready to do now is you're going to harden that man's heart because we won't just leave it alone. But that's the problem we got. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem we face. And Chris Van Hollen is going to be the one in the hot seat. He's going to come to regret this decision of going to take this photo with this man. Had he not went and pursued this so much and so hard, the Democrats could take this from around their neck, but they can't take this albatross from around their neck. I don't care how they try and twist it, how they try and spin it. When we get to a debate, right? Let's say it's a Senate debate or a Congress debate, and it's a Democrat versus Republican. It's for a big seat. Kilmer or Brega Garcia is going to come up, and there's no way you get around this debate. There's no way you get around this talking point. And so right now, this is the most deadly mistake that they've made. And it was logically a mistake. When you looked at it, it was a mistake. Everything about it screamed, this is a mistake. But they're so arrogant that, they wouldn't do it. Let's see what his statement is on it. Senator Chris Van Hollen. For months, the Trump administration flouted the Supreme Court and our Constitution. Today, they appear to have finally relented on our demands for compliance with court orders and due process rights afforded to everyone in the United States. As I've repeatedly said, this is not about the man, it's about the constitutional rights. It's not about X, it's about Y. So he's trying to change the narrative, right? It's not about X, it's about Y and the rights of all. The administration will now have to make its case in the courts of law as it should have all along. And libs of TikTok make the exact point. He's coming back to face charges for human trafficking. This is your hero, LOL. And this is the honest to God truth. He's coming back to face charges and get prosecuted in the courts in front of everybody. And that was the guy, that was the gentleman that they decided they were going to hang their hat on, which was dumb. You know what I'm saying? It was dumb. But that's what the Democrats decided they were going to do, and that's where they are. Let's read some more of the comments. They lied like always. They could have always brought him back, but dragged it out for no reason. Let him have his day in court like it was supposed to happen. No. They manipulated all you clowns. You flew to El Salvador to have a photo op and margaritas with a child smuggling MS-13 drug runner. Anything you say is irrelevant, and you should be immediately stepped down from office. That's the truth. Pat Ride. So the Constitution covers the world now. Middle finger, clown face. Any comment on Kilmore soliciting of child pornography? Attempts to elicit child pornography. And this is going to be the model. This is it, right? This encapsulates it in a whole. We are proudly fighting for criminal illegals. Not regular illegals. Not a mother who was here, who's been here for 20 years, that we all could get behind and understand. I can get behind a single mom that has 3 kids, putting them through high school, one of them in college. She's been here illegal. She living on her own. She been working a job, paying taxes. I could get behind that lady, man. I truly could. I could be like, yo, y'all need to leave Shorty alone, man. She ain't hurt nobody. She tried to make a better life for her kids. Ain't no telling what that lady went through. But they don't choose to represent those people. They choose to represent criminals. And these are all the people that went down there to go see the criminals. I think that's a man right there, personally. I think that thing right there, I think that's a man. That don't look like no woman. That look like a man. That's a strong chin. This dude in the middle is a clown. This dude here look like he retarded. She a clown, and he a clown. But this is where they are. It's such a 90-10 issue for the American people to even think that you would continue this battle and this fight and allow this to be back in the spotlight. And even comment on it. I wouldn't have said nothing if I was Chris Van Hollen. I would have shut up. I wouldn't have. Chris Van Hollen, what do you think? Well, it's a good thing that we got him back. And I would have shut up. But it's hung around their necks. And so, it's one of those things when 10,000 people die, it's nothing. When one person dies, it's a tragedy. And everybody has their attention on it. So they chose their one person that they wanted to model and bring out, and their one person is about to be proven to be a child smuggling, child porn watching, kidnapper, and drug smuggler. And they can't win. Let's see if we have our research done. As of now, we're at 325 sources and counting. All right. Your Stephen Winchell DARPA investment analysis is ready. Identifies high probability investment opportunities based upon Winchell's AI, defense technology, submarine warfare background, tier 1 opportunities, tier 2 opportunities, analyzes AI defense player role. Let's see what it gives us. The appointment of Stephen Winchell as the DARPA 24th director creates a compelling investment opportunity in a publicly traded company, positions the intersection of one, blah, blah, blah. Winchell's background as Project Maven's chief engineer, AI and autonomy portfolio leader, and submarine warfare specialist signals a strategic shift towards AI first defense application with significant maritime focus. Very key information. Key investments. Stephen will bring a unique combination of technical depth, operational experience that directly translates into investment opportunities. His career progressive from nuclear submarine official to AI portfolio leader at Strategic Capabilities Office is coupled with role of chief engineer for Project Maven, the Pentagon's flagship AI initiative. Position. His additional background as president. Here we go. This is what we're looking for. His additional background as president, innovative fellow at IARPA, working on Trojans and artificial intelligence research adds another dimension of focus of AI security and trustworthiness. The timing is particularly advantageous for DARPA's 2025 year budget increase from 6% to $4.3 billion, with approximately $412 million allocated specifically for AI ML programs. Make sure this is showing on the screen. Yes, you can see that. The company's Maven smart system now operates across all 5 combat commands with over 20,000 users. I really want to know Pentagon's boost budget for Palantir's AI software. Growing demand sparks Palantir's Maven contract. Growing demand sparks DoD to raise Palantir's Maven contract to more than $1 billion. Remember I told you guys about Palantir CEO when he was, I said this is going to be your next bad guy. Watch this. Because he was over at the World Economic Forum, and again, this is just what I do, guys. I'll literally sit here and do this for my own. I'm just showing you my research, and I'm just talking to you like I would talk to myself. All right. Maven Smart System NATO will help the alliance modernize the capability and empowering warfighters to operate more decisively on the battlefield. Today, we announce our new partnership to provide AI-enabled warfighting systems. Maven Smart System will empower commanders and warfighters to leverage cutting-edge artificial intelligence. 20 hours ago. NATO takes over AI warfare machine. Palantir Maven system. How creepy is Palantir's reassuring PR video? Let's take a look.
GPT. And we're going to watch. Is it possible to use an AI chatbot to fight a war? Palantir, backed by billionaire Peter Thiel, is launching something called Palantir Artificial Intelligence Platform, a software that will incorporate large language models like GPT. And we're going to watch demo clips that display how a military unit might use AIP to fight a war. But first, let's see how Palantir describes their 3 core pillars.
AIP unleashes the power of large language models and cutting-edge AI for defense and military organizations. LLMs and algorithms must be controlled in this highly regulated and sensitive context to ensure that they are used in a legal and ethical way. AIP's capabilities make the use of LLMs and AI possible in the military context through 3 core pillars. First, AIP deploys LLMs and AI across any network, from classified networks to devices on the tactical edge. AIP connects highly sensitive and classified intelligence data to create a real-time representation of your environment. Second, AIP's security features let you define what LLMs and AI can and cannot see, and what they can and cannot do, with safe AI and handoff functions. Third, AIP brings industry-leading guardrails to control, govern, and trust in the AI. As operators and AI take action in platform, AIP generates a secure digital record of operations. These capabilities are crucial for mitigating significant legal, regulatory, and ethical risks posed by LLMs and AI in sensitive and classified settings.
Now here's another clip featuring a ChatGPT-style interface with an operator that will monitor activity in a hypothetical scenario.
We start with a military operator, responsible for monitoring activity within Eastern Europe. They've just received an alert that military equipment is amassed in a field 30 kilometers from friendly forces. AIP leverages large language models to allow operators to quickly ask questions. Show me more details. They ask what enemy units are in the region and leverage AI to build out a likely unit formation. What enemy military unit is in the region? Our operator requests additional imagery to build a more complete picture of the potential enemy equipment on the ground. Task new imagery for this location at a resolution of 1 meter or higher. AIP surfaces the option to deploy a nearby drone to collect video. Task the MQ-9 to capture video of this location. The footage confirms a potential threat. The drone footage shows an enemy T-80 main battle tank. Generate 3 courses of action to target this enemy equipment. The operator uses AIP to generate 3 possible courses of action to target this enemy equipment. Next, they use AIP to automatically send these options up the chain of command. Send these 3 options to my commander for review.
So what can you do with it? You can deploy a drone to take higher resolution pictures for geospatial analysis, and you can also make it give you 3 possible courses of action, and then send those options to the commander. Let's take a look at the dashboard and see how it all works.
As our operator poses questions, the LLM is traversing a data foundation of real-time information, integrated from across public and classified sources. Data is automatically tagged and protected by classification markings, and AIP enforces which parts of the organization the LLM has access to, while respecting an individual's permissions, role, and need to know. For example, the LLM shown cannot access soldier health data by policy. Every response from AIP retains links back to the underlying data records, propagating the correct classifications as well as enabling transparency for the user, who can investigate as necessary. This functionality is critical and essential to responsible use of LLMs and AI in military contexts. Our commander must now assess the 3 possible courses of action generated by AIP to neutralize the buildup of enemy equipment. The system highlights key information for each course of action to assist decision-making, such as the time required and status of supplies. Our commander selects a course of action. Approve course of action 3. AIP has established which unit is closest to the enemy tank. our commander can now begin to develop an operational plan for Team Omega. First, the commander uses AIP to assess the battlefield. Analyze the battlefield considering a striker vehicle and a platoon-sized unit. An automated terrain analysis model processes all existing geospatial intelligence to understand unit maneuverability. From here, AIP suggests the optimal route based on the unit's composition and the traversability of the terrain. Generate a route from Team Omega to the enemy equipment. Then, our commander validates the unit's supply of the munition needed to engage the enemy equipment. How many Javelin missiles does Team Omega have? Next, our commander wants to disrupt enemy communications. This will allow ground forces to more safely maneuver and help ensure that enemy equipment stays in position.
All right, we get the gist of it, and it's terrifying, but human beings will outsmart this 10,000 times over. And I'll tell you why. The only advantage that the AI has is that it has constant access to data, but a human being will outthink this 1,000 times over. I mean, while it was talking, I was sitting there just I'm thinking none of this stuff will work, but that's not the purpose of why we're looking at this. Okay. The purpose of why we're looking at this is to see where these creepy people are taking things. And I was looking for the CEO of Palantir when he was talking about, but I went down the rabbit hole with Maven Systems because we need to know what the hell a Maven system was. Now we know what a Maven system is. And so now we know why the Ukrainian war was so damn important. Because Eric Prince came out this morning, and I wonder why, but God that showed me that this morning, because I was wondering why Eric Prince was the first thing in my feed. And Eric Prince said his exact words were that the most advanced teams in warfighters when it comes to using AI and drone technology are the Ukrainians. And so what happened is this technology was deployed to Ukraine for real-time battlefield use. And so they're collecting all the data from the fight in Ukraine with Russia and training their models on the data from the Ukrainian war. Now it makes sense why from a military industrial complex, they don't want to let this war go. From a DARPA perspective and a Pentagon perspective, why those parties didn't want to let this war go. Because, I mean, you're getting the experience, right? And you're killing other people's soldiers. It's not like we're losing American troops to get this experience. And I know what I'm saying sounds harsh, but it's the truth of the matter. You ever wondered, we know Zelensky's bad off. We know there's corruption. In fact, let me see if I can find Eric Prince talking about it. Let's let Steve Bannon talk, even though, and guys, I'm not a Steve Bannon fan. I'm sorry. I feel like Steve Bannon's done a lot for the United States of America, but Steve Bannon be tripping too at the same time. He's got some real hate in his bones as it pertains to Elon Musk. I don't know why he hate Elon so much, but he got some serious hate. And I know we're supposed to be going through this report, but this is what research actually is, guys. You're going through and you're getting a deeper understanding of what in the Sam hell is going on out here in these streets. Ooh, what is this, boy? And how can I make some money off this if I can make some money?
And it's the deep state countering President Trump, what President Trump wants to do. And you can see in this polling in South Carolina with Lindsey Graham, which he's deeply underwater. A big part of this is MAGA that says, no, we do not want to be sucked into any more whether the wars between Israel and Persia or Ukraine and Russia. We don't want to be sucked into this. If we go in at all, we want to make a conscious decision. But right now, we're getting President Trump, what President Trump wants to do. And you can see in this polling in South Carolina with Lindsey Graham, which he's deeply underwater. A big part of this is MAGA that says, no, we do not want to be sucked into any more whether the wars between Israel and Persia or Ukraine and Russia. We don't want to be sucked into this. If we go in at all, we want to make a conscious decision. But right now, we're getting dragged into this thing. Part of the reason, I think, is what Rickard just said. These are not Ukrainian weapons and they're weapon systems, and they're not Western Europe weapon systems. They're American weapon systems, particularly the artificial intelligence and drone part of it. Joe Allen.
Steve, I think back to when the invasion first unfolded, and I was in D.C. with you in the studio, and you said, you asked me, what is the artificial intelligence angle on this? Surely that is going to be the most important part of this war. At the time, it's pretty much all conventional weapons, Javelin missiles and tanks and so on and so forth. That has changed dramatically. And at the beginning of the year of 2023, when they first kind of rolled out ChatGPT at the World Economic Forum, you also had Alex Karp, CEO of Palantir, speaking there at the World Economic Forum, and he talked about how Palantir had donated their software, their target acquisition software, and other systems to Ukraine, and openly said that Ukraine is a kind of laboratory for new military technologies. Since then, Palantir's stock shares have skyrocketed.
Now, I want you to understand, y'all saw me find this video real time. It ain't like you see me doing this real time and came to the same damn conclusion extremely quickly. It's not like I researched this off screen. You saw me go through this whole thing, initiate this whole thing on screen. I'm not saying, look at me, how smart I am. I'm just saying, as you start to chase down these rabbit holes, this truth reveals itself to you. I don't need to listen to no more. We got confirmation of what we wanted. Now, we can go listen to the CEO of Palantir to figure out what comes next and what our next research will be, because, excuse me, he's gonna brag, quite frankly. But that's not the point. So here's where we are right now, at 46 minutes in. And this, never mind. Here's where we are 46 minutes in. We started the research. We got a little report. We're going through the report. We understand now that the Ukrainian war is where they're testing all of their technology. So the purpose of the Ukrainian war is for them, these major globalist companies, to test their technology, their warfare technology. I could go find Eric Prince saying the same thing. And I think it would be even better for out of the mouth of Eric Prince, just for TBNH. He was on a show, TBHN, TB something. Here he is. This is a show, and this is before it was Romanian mercenaries. Now we fought and captured. Has been contracted to provide mercenaries to fight for him, his family, in war and just lost despite the endless means. He also prayed for Romanian army. Before Prince, it was Romanian mercenaries who fought and got captured. So this is the show we're looking for, TBPN. BPN. Hopefully I can find their actual show. Here it is. And watch what Mr. Prince has to say. Now, if you don't know who Eric Prince is, he's the founder of Blackwater. This is basically, he's basically a god of war. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, this is just who he is.
The most capable military in Europe right now is the Ukrainian military. Mm-hmm. The lessons learned that they have are very significant. The drone tech is far and away the best. Their ability to fight against and to even conduct electronic warfare and even close air support in this environment is leaps and bounds ahead of even what the U.S. military's is. So that's the military to learn from. Ukraine does have a corruption problem. I hope sincerely that Trump is able to get a ceasefire in place and to stop this killing, because it's absolutely pointless. It's just Slavs killing Slavs at this point, and it's nobody's going to advance. And you have a blend of old and new. I mean, if you look at the pictures of the front there now, it's almost indistinguishable from the Battle of the Somme, right? Artillery duels, static lines, bunkers, all the rest. Now the problem is somebody can fly an FPV into your bunker on the other side, but between tens of millions of landmines, which make armored breakthrough very difficult, it slows down any attack so that the FPVs and artillery can get to it, you're not going to see any kind of blitzkrieg, Hans Guderian maneuver warfare there until some significantly different weapon systems come along. So, look, Europe needs to get serious about it. They're far from it at this point.
Thanks to the guys at TBBN. Hopefully, it won't be tripping. I took a snippet of their show. You'll be amazed at how many people actually have problems when you take a snippet of their show, even though you're commenting on it. And it's crazy. But nonetheless, so Eric said something very significant. He said, first of all, there's a deadlock due to mines, millions of mines, which won't allow militaries with heavy armored vehicles to move further, which makes sense why we have this missile warfare and this drone warfare, because neither party can advance to the other side. And then he said, until there's a new form of technology that comes out, that will deal with the mines. And see, this is why we listen to these things. So now we know there's technology for mines and AI on battlefield. I want to make a note of that for myself. And so whoever solves these problems, the wealth is generated by people solving problems. Let's just keep it real. Whoever solves that problem of mines on a battlefield where they can be exploded, probably with a drone that gives the right frequency or whatever, which I find it hard to believe they haven't done that yet. I feel like there should be some kind of drone that can fly by and fly at a low altitude, send a frequency out that explodes all the drones. I'm not sure, but I feel like that's kind of crazy that hasn't been resolved yet. But nonetheless, so Eric Prince, and it's dangerous going down rabbit holes, but I'm going to keep us focused. Eric Prince verifies what we've started to understand, which is that that the Ukraine, specifically, tied in with Palantir and tied in with the European Union, that Palantir and these technologies are being tested out in the Ukrainian war. And so as DARPA puts out these, what you would call them, these requests for proposals, and people present their technology is probably being given to Ukrainian soldiers to test out on the battlefield before American soldiers use it, right? All right, let's get back to our report. Hopefully I didn't lose you. Some people are probably lost. If you didn't stick with me, cool. All right, let's get into the stocks. Lockheed Martin, we ain't messing with that. That's too high. Northrop Grumman, we ain't messing with that. That's too high. Hunting Ingalls Industry, HII. All right, as the only dual capable nuclear shipbuilder in the U.S., HII Remus Autonomous Underwater Vehicles and Odyssey Autonomous Solutions directly leverage Winchell's submarine operations background, the Lionfish Small Unmanned Undersea Vehicle Program, with potential for 200 vehicles worth $347 million, represents significant growth in autonomous maritime systems. So let's see. Copy that. Let's see what they're looking like. I feel like all of these are going to be hundreds and hundreds of freaking dollars. I don't feel like there's going to be a super duper buying opportunity in any of this. 200 and something dollars. This is the gap that I was telling you about right here from a trading perspective that has to be filled. Anytime you see one of these gaps, that gap is filled. That's an imbalance. And as you can see, this came back to start the process of filling this imbalance that was there since November 21st, 1924. I mean, 2024. So if I'm here at $100 and something and I see this gap, I know that price is returning to that gap. Now, once it gets past that gap, I don't know what the hell it's doing, but it's going to fill that gap. In that case, it took 187 days to fill that gap. All right. Just to prove the point that I was saying, those of you who actually trade, you know what I'm saying is true. All right. The other opportunity is Microsoft, which we ain't messing with that one. This L3 Harris technology, LHX, is all over the place. This thing right here, they're everywhere as it pertains to DARPA contracts. I mean, I've seen them with the medical contracts. I've seen them with the underwater contract. I mean, I've seen these people everywhere. I mean, they are, when I say on every report I ran, they're on every report. Let me see. 12 months. And yeah, this has went crazy. And I can understand why this went crazy. I mean, these people here are the real deal. They've been around since 1971. I mean, they are the real deal in this scope of AI battlefield warfare. They are on everything. L3 Harris Technologies is the bomb. You know what I'm saying? And this is just for my research. I'm not telling you to buy anything. To be clear, this is not financial advice. I'm sharing with you how I do my research, right? Point blank, period. If you don't just be running around buying stuff. I'm not telling you to buy a damn thing. Because people be like, oh, he's giving financial advice. He's giving financial advice. Let's flag him for financial advice. Because they got a little bunch of bitch assness running around here. But I'll tell you, out of all the reports I ran, these people are the dogs out here in these streets. All right, let me see what else we got. Kratos Defense and Securities offers a pure play exposure to autonomous combat systems through its XQ-58A Valkyrie program. Can we get an article on that? Can we see what the hell that is? Valkyrie program overview. The XQ-58A is an unmanned aerial combat system being developed by U.S. company. Wow. Let's see what this video looks like. What do you do? Come on, bro. None of that stupid music. Oh my Lord, this is Terminator. Boy, we have into the field of Terminator. So it's flying along with the damn pilot. I wonder if it's gonna dive bomb. Is the music still playing?
Years of partnership that began with the Skyborg Vanguard program. The mission proved out a multi-layer safety framework on an AIML-flown uncrewed aircraft and demonstrated an AIML agent solving a tactically relevant challenge problem during airborne operations, said Colonel Tucker Hamilton, Chief, AI Test and Operations, for the Department of the Air Force. This sortie officially enables the ability to develop AIML agents that will execute modern air-to-air and air-to-surface skills that are immediately transferable to the CCA program. The algorithms were developed by AFRL's Autonomous Air Combat Operations team. The algorithms matured during millions of hours in high-fidelity simulation events, sorties on the X-62 Vista, hardware-in-the-loop events with the XQ-58A, and ground test operations, as depicted in the video at the link below. AACO has taken a multi-pronged approach to uncrewed flight testing of machine learning artificial intelligence and has met operational experimentation objectives by using a combination of high-performance computing, modeling and simulation, and hardware-in-the-loop testing to train an AI agent to safely fly the XQ-58 uncrewed aircraft, said AACO Program Manager, Dr.
Bro, this shit is terrifying. This is some goody mob. Who's that peeking in my window? Pow! Nobody now. Who's that peeking in my window? Pow! Nobody now. Type stuff. Me and my family moved in our apartment complex. A gate with the serial code was put up next. They say that this community is so drug-free, but it don't look the way to me, cause I can see the young thugs hanging out at the store. 24/7 junkies looking for a hit of the blow. It's powerful. Man, you know what else they trying to do? Make a curfew, especially for me and you. The traces of the new world order. It's going to be a slaughter. If we don't get prepared, people, it's going to be a slaughter. My mind won't allow me to not be hearing this. My folk don't understand because they don't take it serious. But every now and then, I wonder if that gate was put up to keep crime out or keep our ass in. Who's that peeking in my window? Pow! Nobody now. Yeah. That right there is Booz Allen Hamilton. Been around a long time. All right, risk assessment and mitigation strategy. Primary risks include DARPA's typical 3 to 5 year program cycles, creating funding uncertainty with only 20 to 30% programs transition in production. However, the risk profile is offset by the significant scale of successful programs. Companies that win operational transitions often secure billions in follow-up on contracts. Investment analysis, near term 6 to 12. Midterm 1 to 3, long term 3 to 5. And of course, his relationship with Palantir and Lockheed Martin are the ones. So Palantir ain't going nowhere for sure. Lockheed Martin ain't going nowhere, but that's not what we're looking for. The whole purpose of this video. Now I'm gonna tell you what I got out of this. I don't know what the hell you got out of it. Wait. Oh, that's Quantum Benchmark Initiative. I'm gonna tell you what I got out of it. This one right here that I've been seeing over all these runs, that's the one I like. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, baby, I like that. LHX, I really like that. I really like that. I like that one. But I could be sitting here talking about politics, but I'm tired of talking about politics. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. Because it's the same stuff. All this stuff has to play out. You know what I'm saying? The Kilmore Brega has to play out. I could tell y'all, yeah, they're doing ice raids in Los Angeles, California. In the liberals are out there and they're fighting the ice raids. Well, hell, y'all already know they doing that. You know why they doing that? Because the demonized mainstream liberal has made these people heroes. So what are we talking about? In relation to Elon Musk, let's just keep it real, guys. Elon is Elon got a little bit of a problem on his hand. He needs to be careful. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when you got all these defense contractors, there's somebody sitting there waiting to step in and be the next Elon Musk. Let's do this real quickly. Let's do it real quickly. I probably need to pay these people their money for this AI over here, but I've been weaning my expenses from AIs because some of them are good, some of them are not good. Like ChatGPT is a problem at this point in time. You know what I'm saying? It really is. All right. World Economic Forum. Palantir. Palantir CEO. What? Palantir ran Operation Warp Speed. And this is why I say you got to be careful. Remember I said we got our newest mad scientist coming to the table? Got to be careful. Got to be careful because he is.
And we were asked if we were willing to supply our product philanthropically, basically for free, and I was very in favor of this because our primary mission is, in fact, to set a global standard for the world for behavior. Okay, well, I can tell you why it's a moot, because heretofore no one has gotten into these environments at scale under any circumstance. And if they did get in, they got in with services. So now we have a single-purposed, highly formed stack of software that is exactly right for this moment, with a culture that's exactly right to implement it, which a culture that can teach people how to do this, that is now charismatic for some. It's anti-charismatic for others. And that, de facto, it's the compounding rate of return on that stack. And to Shyam's opinion, the opinionation we have about how to do this, it essentially allows you to express your tribal knowledge of your enterprise in a way you could never do it before on the terms of your enterprise with unit economics that are heretofore impossible to do. And
all that fancy talk, he just saying we now have an AI software stack that allows you, a company, to effectually get your product to the market at scale at a cheaper price than anything else. Now, what I don't like about clips is the clips don't always give you the full context of what the man says. But for us intelligent people, we want context to what he's saying. We want full on context. And I don't feel like going and finding the full context. If someone doesn't present it, then I don't think I'll make a judgment on the individual based on some of the clips, but you can't make a full on judgment based upon not having context. Palantir cannot be at $24. That can't be at 20 PLTR. That's got to be super old. PLTR. Yeah, I about to say that can no longer be at $24. You got to be retarded for Palantir to be at $24. All right. And so we would have to go and find his full interview on YouTube. So let's go find him. YouTube. I think I'm going to cut this video right here and I'm going to start the next video off of this. Just so you'll know.
Technology.
Welcome to Palantir, and welcome to Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley has gone through many, many phases. The most important phase was when it was fully aligned with the U.S. and the West, which is how, in part, we won World War II, and how we changed the world to become freer, more democratic, more tolerant, more willing to listen, how everyone's standard of living went up, and basically people learned to get along. And then we have the last phase, and then you had the consumer internet thing. I bash it all the time. Now it's kind of boring to bash these things as carcinogenic, waste of time, ways of flushing our talent down the toilet. And most importantly, they did not transfer any wealth to the populace, either intellectual capital or ways of organizing. And so we got a very, very divided West.
Sorry, I had to do that just in case somebody tried to copyright.
With AI, where it's like a very, very unusual revolution. And there is and some people are doing very well. The large language models on their own, I think, have been proven to be somewhat not useful unless you want to cheat on your homework, which could be valuable depending on the BS homework you're getting.
For copyright purposes, I'm going to stop because, guys, when you start to touch upon the golden unicorns of the world, there's problems. So far, the purpose of us even watching the CEO of Palantir at this point in time is to see what he's saying the vision of the future is. You can look at an Elon Musk and you see what the vision of the future is. And more importantly, this individual, I'm looking for his leanings, both politically, spiritually, and economically. So far, I've heard, he sounds like he wants to do stuff for the people, but Bill Gates said he wants to do stuff for the people, and you saw what the hell happened with Bill Gates. As of now, from what I've heard about this guy, he terrifies me, right? Because we already know, based upon history, of how these men are put in place, none of these men are as smart as they present themselves to be. We already know, based on history, all the technology comes out of DARPA, is put in the hands of a man. That man is elevated, and then that man is the spokesperson for that technological wave. This is the fourth revolution, industrial revolution. So he's one of the kings of the fourth industrial revolution. By the way, DARPA, if y'all see this, which I know for a fact, y'all probably do watch some of these things, I have no problem with give me some technology. Give me some tech. Yeah. Look at my background. Give me some tech. Don't give me no evil tech, though, because I don't want none of that evil crap. Don't give me nothing evil, because I know these people ain't that damn smart. If you was that smart, you would at least have the right. You would at least, not wear your clothes like that, man. Like, look at this man. You do something with your damn hair. I know, let me stop. All this weirdo stuff. Stop picking weirdos, DARPA.
And it's a bonanza for dyslexics like me, because who cares about all that stuff? You get paid for being creative. But this moment we're in, with as embodied in Foundry, Ontology, and you, is a very, very special moment, because there is a very selective transfer of knowledge and opportunity to a very select group of people, largely defined by, are you willing to evaluate things that work, or are you going to buy some BS ideology that worked in the past? Maybe it worked in the 50s, maybe it worked 2 years ago. By and large, in my view, we're not a money culture at Palantir, but by and large, it's just set up to trick you to have no value, but to feel good about getting dumber every day. And we're not in that business at Palantir, and our approach to the battlefield is exactly the approach we have in U.S. commercial, which is why we grew 71% in U.S. commercial with a rule of 83, which basically means we're doing it with no BS, very little sales, no overhead. People are buying the product in its pure form. The young people here would say, we're like the pure drug on the streets. High-priced, a real hit. You feel good for days, and it makes you stronger and better. Now, I don't know if that's the right metaphor. It's not exactly my metaphor. I like fitness. And
This boy high as hell right now. I don't know what kind of designer drug he on, but he high as they come right now. Yeah, he on a high. Look at him. Look at him. He high, man. See, this that they on that NZT crap. You know what I'm saying? I get on my methylene. That's the closest I can get to some of that NZT. They on that real NZT. Look at them. Don't believe me? Who texted me, man? What the hell is this? Yeah. This is some old NZT type stuff. Is what they own, man. They own that NZT. Let the NZT boy keep talking.
But the thing about this revolution is that it's shifted the whole Silicon Valley landscape. Now, the official version of Silicon Valley is a truly interesting, once in a generation, once in a national history kind of thing. We happen to have it. We have other tech centers where de facto we dominate the world, mostly from here and other tech sectors that are outside of here, but in America. And even the Valley, the secret of the Valley right now, the secret you're not allowed to say to anyone is, everyone's given up on randomly just sprinkling their dollars on startups. You know what they're all interested in? They're interested in you. Growth, plus ontology, plus Foundry, plus large language models. They want you. And you know why they want you? Because with ontology, Foundry, and any language model that we orchestrate with you, we can change your unit economics to being pretty close to ours.
Sorry, my microphone was off. We had a gap in knowledge. And when you're doing your research and you realize someone is saying something that you don't understand, you do not just gloss over it. I says ontology. Represent knowledge domains, formally representations of knowledge domains that LLMs can understand, reasoning about structure frameworks, defining relationship between concept entities and their properties, knowledge graphs that help LLMs better understand semantic relations, systems, entity recognition, identifying, classifying entities, people, or named entity recognition. An LLM application's ontology typically involves knowledge representation, semantic understanding, domain enterprise reasoning enhancement, providing frameworks for logical. So ontology is teaching the large language models how to recognize and identify domain expertise, organizing specialized knowledge, medical, legal, specific. So ontology is actually the structuring of the information for the model. So I make a large language model that focuses on law, and then I need to be able to identify. It's kind of like I'm carving out this thing to focus on it. So all the knowledge that pertains to law from the existence of human beings from the first time there was a court held, for the ontology of it is, hey, I need to solidify all this into one language model. So it's the process of gathering all the information and feeding it to that model. Got it. So now when he talks, we're not lost as to what he's saying, and it's not going over our heads because we're a freaking idiot. It's kind of a lingo that's not our lingo. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with it. Not, if it's not your lingo, it ain't your lingo, but you got to learn the lingo, baby. You got to learn it.
With your sized revenue. And then you guys can also get up and pull the freak show act that I am and tell people who are insulting our country and who are against meritocracy and against free speech, whatever you want to tell them. Whatever you want to tell them, you get the freedom, because if you have 71% growth in U.S. commercial and 45% growth in government like we do, and you have a rule of 83 or anything close to that, especially with the rule of 83, you get freedom. And I'll tell you, everyone here, you're tired of that BS investor who has no idea what they're talking about? You want to grow your company because you're a world-class investor even quicker? You're tired of having some analyst who woke up on the wrong side of bed and decided they didn't like you because they didn't get into your company, or they don't like you because you're not cool enough? You're tired, in our case, of being attacked by people who seemingly can't go online and spend 5 minutes looking at our architecture, but are so committed to being a product of their own weak, thin religion that they're motivated by being poorer and hurting us? You have the freedom to tell those people to go back and suffer and fail on their own because of your unit economics. And we are going to help you get there, because that is a better world for you and a much better world for us. And people in this room have already begun that journey. Some of you guys, most of you are at the beginning. Most of you people here who are exceeding are only using part of our product. Use the rest. We will.
All right, we need to find out what the hell these people products are. The way he talking this crap. List a few Palantir we need to see what the hell he talking about. So this is the Foundry he's talking about. Their flagship data integration analytics platform integrates data from multiple sources across organizations, provides AI, ML capabilities for decision making. Gotham really is designed for governments, but also used for corporations focused on security, fraud detection, and risk management, anti-money laundering, compliance, cybersecurity. Apollo, software delivery platform, manages and deploys software across different environments, ensures security and compliance. Artificial intelligence platform, their newest AI focus, offers large language model integration, AI-powered analytics, and decision making. I want to go to their corporate solutions website. Boom, 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 bow, bow, bow. Boom. Let's go. The founder activate your data and analytics and dynamic systems for closed loop operations. That makes sense. Step in real time collaboration. Execute faster with universal logic representing the objects, actions, and processes of your business. Whoa. All right. Get it. Got it. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Get it. Got it. Good. Get it. Got it. Good. Palantir, ladies and gentlemen, is the company that's going to make human beings obsolete. That's the company that's going to make human beings. It is the company that's making human beings obsolete. We saw it because it's making men obsolete on the battlefield. And if it could do it on the battlefield in high stress environments that are that can dictate the birth and destruction of nations, and then they turn it inwardly corporately, it can do the same thing in a corporate environment, which means that Palantir is the company that's going to effectively remove human beings from the workplace. The premise of this video is to find things to invest. This is where the rubber meets the road, because Palantir is going to be thousands of dollars per share, barring this guy doesn't have a mental breakdown, and, or gets, Arkansas, where he's stuffed in a bag. You know what I'm saying? Where he shoots himself in the head, back of the head 2 times, and stuffs himself in a duffel bag. Palantir is going to be next level. Boom, 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 boom. Oh my goodness. I'm kind of tired of doing the research. And then we're going to pause this. We're going to call this Research 1. I'm going to see how you guys respond to this. This is my research that I'm about to print out. But I'm just gonna see how you respond to it, because I just can't be like everybody else, where they like, we're gonna go over the news today, and the Democrats said this, the Democrats said that. Oh, I can't believe they did this with kill more. It's boring. It's not a challenge from a mind. You can see it. It's right there. Just like, for example, the probability of the United States going in a full-on hellhole, crapola, shifted when Trump and Elon had this battle. They gave a lot of territory with a dumb, egotistical battle. And I don't want to look at it today. Honestly, I don't, because my mind already says, damn, you two clowns messed it all up. Yeah, and people be like, well, DW, it was a ploy, it was a plot. No, man. You have to think about the way the average person sees this. The average individual only sees headlines. And this is the problem that, like, the MAGA movement and researchers and people who really consume content on the YouTube all day, you have time to consume the content, so you have time to decipher the meaning of things and kind of dig into it. The average person that goes to work, right, and then comes home and then cooks dinner and then gets in a bed, they ain't looking at this stuff like you look at it. So when you look at it from your perspective, you're like, yeah, this could be a ploy. It's all a ploy, and they're playing 5-dimensional chess. 5-dimensional chess only manifests in the minds of people who can really see 5-dimensional chess. The average person is 1-dimensional thinking, and they don't have the attention span to get to the second and third move, which is why the Democrats are so good, because they understand, hit them with the one move, and they hit you with the same one move over and over and over. It's like every game they're playing the Rui Lopez opening. Pawn E4, bishop, knight, pawn, knight, bishop, in castle. That's just what they do. And we get it confused, man. We get it confused. We just think like, oh, everybody's going to see, trust the plan. Now them people ain't trusting no plan. Them people don't even understand there is a plan. Them people worried. And then when they see this battle between Trump and Elon, it's like it shifts their mindset. It disappoints them. Don't disappoint me, because I rock with Jesus. So my faith ain't in no man, even though people be like, DW, you drunk the MAGA Kool-Aid. Trump is your God. I really wish I could see something. I really wish somebody would say that to my face. I'm telling you, I really wish somebody would say it to my face. Because I'm going to smack the lips off your mouth. This is a big old black hand. That's a big old hand. I ain't going to hit you. I'm going to open palm smack the piss out you. That's why Jesus been telling me to sit down. I was going to go to one of the YouTube events recently. Sit your behind down, son. Going to drive. Go to the event. Now, son, sit down. Sure enough, saw the video. A whole bunch of pink hair, purple hair people there. Because it was in one of those liberal cities. Now, don't go there. Son, don't go there. I'm like, all right, big guy. Because I'm telling you, I be sitting in a holding cell trying to bond myself out on my credit card. Yeah, I be wilding, man. All right, this is why I be ending the videos. Then I'm going to tell you something else. When you're doing this research, I want you to talk to yourself. I want you to talk to yourself, and I want you to talk to God. You be like, man, why they doing this? God, why they did that? What's the purpose of this? Talk to yourself, talk to God. People who talk to themselves are highly intelligent. Now, don't just walk down the street talking to yourself like a damn clown. You're talking to yourself in your mind all day long. In fact, you talking, God talking, and some demons and other spirits is talking in your brain too. And then you're going into imaginations, imagining things that are going on and trying to figure out what's happening. Blah, blah, blah. And then you back in the past, and you experiencing the past that don't exist no more. Creating your future by being in the past. Don't do that to yourself. Don't you do it. All right. So what do we get out of this before I close it out? We now understand a hell of a lot more about Palantir, and the role that they're playing in warfare, and the fact that this CEO of Palantir is the next Elon Musk. In 10 years from now, he'll be the Elon Musk. Why you say that, DW? You can't say he's going to be the next Elon Musk. His stock is at 127. Tesla. $294, $295. Now Elon has a whole bunch of companies. When that boy when his market cap and his stock price exceeds Tesla, he gonna be the big man on campus. That's just what it's gonna be. He gonna be the big man on campus. So you're looking at the next Elon Musk, who looks like he smoke a whole bunch of weed, do a whole bunch of drugs. Talking about he work out. That's like me telling y'all I work out every day, and I'm really into working out all day, and then no, it's just look. Listen, let me stop talking about people. That's not nice to talk about people. Get back focused. The point I'm making is, I showed you how to do some research, and it's right when it says Palantir is a highest conviction play. I mean, yeah, it really is. I mean, it really is. And then Lockheed Martin is just standard. Northrop Grumman is standard. Huntington, I don't really like that. Microsoft, whatever. This one right here I really like, with some explosive opportunities. And that's what I'll look at. You know what I'm saying? I'm print out my report, put it in my binder, keep it in front of me so I can make sure I do it. You dig? All right, I'm out of here. Let me go do another video. Still got time. Oh, no, y'all couldn't see that. Yeah, y'all couldn't see that. I'm sorry. Now you can see what I was saying. Let me go back. So it was saying that Palantir was let me move this over. Move myself over. I apologize, guys. It was saying Palantir was and I'll edit it. Palantir was the highest conviction play, meaning, that's a play you should make. Lockheed Martin is going to always be there. Northrop Grumman. What I was saying was this L3 Harris Technologies I really like. And then there was this other one down here, which was, did we check to see what this was? Did I even look at this? Or did I just look at the video? I feel like I never even looked at this one. Well, damn. Yeah, we did look at this. Oh, shit. Well, I'll be among his uncle. Well, I'll be among his uncle. I looked at it, but I didn't pay no attention to it. That's the problem with that ADHD brain of mine. Sometimes you look at stuff, but you don't pay no attention to it. Break a structure, change the character. Yeah. Above the, yeah. I like that. What, a weak high up here, strong low. To service back up to, actually to fill this fair value gap at $300. I like that. I like it like that. I like it like that. You probably can't see that either because I probably ain't got half the chart up there. I like it like that. I like it like that. All right, I'm done.